organisation, Afar Pastoralist Development Association, intends to link the work of this wonderful hospital to our work in the rural, and how actually mothers in the rural will be served by the hospital. As you see, they're pastoralists, they live a totally nomadic life. These women are bringing back water from the water hole, a huge job for women, carrying animal skins on the back of camels. And they live in settlements like this, where they build the house, they keep the area clean, and they look after the food and water for the day. So the woman herself has a vast job. For our team, we have health workers, women extension workers, who go out on foot as teams into the rural each day to respond to the community. In this particular house, they've been told of a pregnant woman who needs assistance. In the first place, they make full greeting of the household and make sure everybody's comfortable with their presence. And then, of course, they greet the husband, and this is the husband coming out of the house now. And he is assured of the organisation wanting to help his wife, and he tells what he knows of his wife's problem and how he thinks that she should be assisted. And basically the health worker then has got the job to try and document that, to document the problem that she's been faced with, and so that we can find the appropriate assistance. And as you see, in our fast society, everybody sits around listening. It's a very communal society. She's checked, her chest is checked, and her blood pressure is checked to see how she's going. And then basically he is discussing with the community what is found. So all in all, the whole thing is a shared thing between the community, the health worker, and the woman extension worker. Fatima here is the woman extension worker. She's listening in to catch on with what she can help. This is the traditional birth attendant here. She's telling what she knows of her problem. They're checking now to see her level of anemia and to see what's going on, and see what could be the condition. The TVA is also showing her to reassure the family all the equipment she has, so that the family will be assured that if they use a TBA that's trained by APDA, they will get a safer, cleaner, and more protected delivery. The importance, the soap and the razor blade rather than a traditional metal cutting knife is important. And that's all explained so that the community feels comfortable. With the woman extension worker, they do a quick check of the woman's stomach to see the size of the baby and the growth of the baby, and to see how far they think she's gone and how far they think she's close to labour or not. And basically, then the women begin to, this is the woman extension worker and the head woman extension coordinator. She's checking to see the anemia is well checked. Now she's going to start a discussion with the community about what's appropriate for pregnant women and mothers to support them in the community. And all of them are listening, this is the husband, he's telling what he thinks about it. He's been asked to bring appropriate food and appropriate assistance, sugar and so on, into the house for the mother, to be sure that she's safe in the labour period. As you see, things are very, very simple, and yeah, grandma looks after babies, and all is interactive society. Then they move on to another household, And basically that's how APDA's team does work in the rural community. And this is how it's this team that will connect with the hospital, the health workers, the women extension workers, and the traditional birth attendants. And it's this team which will get better knowledge from this hospital and will get more ability to identify mothers at risk and, of course, refer them. And this is what we're very eager about. Okay, so here we go. Again, checking another household. And again, more discussion about primary health, about hygiene, sanitation, cleaning the area. This is a very big basic thing. And this is this is an ongoing work of APDA, always talking about sanitation, hygiene, and of course safety of mother in the pregnant period, in the childbirth period, and after childbirth, and the need for vaccination, and so on. This is all taught by these women and these health workers and these women extension workers. Yeah, and they're clapping now for health is in your hands is the thing. The good thing about the modern issue is that we have a mobile phone, and here Fatima, the coordinator, is connecting to our office. She can do that. She can tell us. She's found somebody she's very suspicious about. She would like assistance. She'd like somebody from higher up to come and check. Well, the checking, of course, is exactly this hospital. Here we have Dr. Margaret and her driver, Nora, and our wonderful ambulance. And this ambulance is dedicated just to picking up women, and this is about what it's to do. And since we've had the ambulance, it's been working long before the hospital. It has picked up literally hundreds of women and taken them to Desi and Dupti. Now, once the call has been made, Margaret and Nora can respond, and they can get on the road and make an appropriate decision with the woman in the rural area. So this is our link, our big link between the hospital and the rural. And this is the great thing. This is what we believe will reduce maternal death in Afar. Maternal death and child death in Afar is still the highest in Ethiopia, and we still have to work a lot. Wherever you see Afar, they are living with extreme remoteness, with extreme difficulty. And so we have to teach appropriately. Here our gender officer is teaching again women extension workers about how to train traditional birth attendants, how to train them in delivery, in using a delivery set, in checking the mother, and in referring the mother. And so, yeah, this is a little bit of a drama, but it's a drama to show how to do the delivery. Washing is always high on the agenda, washing hands, being clean, and out comes the baby. Of course, it's our lovely, always there, black baby. And somehow they've disconnected the umbilical cords, but it'll be found. And again, we have lots of joy in our organisation, lots of things to celebrate, lots of things to be happy about, and we do that together, and we do that several times, often as we can. But we, as they say in Arabic, Yom al-Basal, Yom al-Asal, there are days that are of sadness, and this was a sad day. This was a day when we picked up a twin lady she refused to come. She was having her first pregnancy. She was too frightened and she didn't want to do it, but I couldn't stay in the rural to look after her. We had a car which had gone into the rural for other reasons, and so we loaded her in and brought her back. And she stayed with us in Logia, and eventually she was totally anemic. And you can see by her face she's highly anemic and edematous. and eventually she did deliver twins. She delivered them in Dupti Hospital. But this, again, had she delivered in the rural, she would have had to die. There aren't any rural roads, really. The roads are made by the community. It's very distant, and what they see of us is the only vehicle they really do see. And so we have all this team of health workers and women extension workers and TBAs in the community. We have over 210 health workers, 240 women extension workers, and we are constant with the community. We're constantly aware of their problems. We're going with them despite the difficulties of the terrain, despite the difficulties of what's going on. And therefore, we believe that with this hospital now, we have the right ingredients, the right agenda to make a huge difference to reduce this maternal death. And on that score, we thank every single person, every single organisation who's given so generously.